Europe, peace family, peace gods. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to make a video for those people who are now seeking truth, who is now, coming into the journey of self-correction, self-love, and self-awareness. The practice of, a lot of people like to say spirituality. The definition of spirit is only energy. And when you look into energy, you know that everything is energy. Everything is energy, right? And then when you study and you study and you study, you come across all these amazing things, because the cool thing about energy is that energy ties into all things, literally all things. But that's just besides the point. Congratulations to those who are in that mind space, picking up that level of thinking, that way of consciously thinking for yourself, consciously being aware of yourself, consciously being conscious. I have a couple of tips and advice for those who are now seeking their journey, who is people who's trying to live in truth and not lies. So I've been on my journey for about 3 years now, and it was not easy all the time. It was never just easy. Obviously, life is what you make it. It's all about perspective. It's all about how you go about it, right? But one thing about being on a spiritual journey is that you are now aware of information. You're seeking information, and the more and more information you get, the more and more you realize the things that was given was false information. So when you are conditioned with a bunch of false information, biologically you are conditioned with certain patterns, with a certain program that's going to play out in your reality. And 9 out of 10, you're going to deal with your demons, you're going to deal with your angels. Now, you have to know how to decipher discernment and use discernment when you're faced with these battles, because you will have battles. Understand, when you are going through this journey and you're seeking truth, most of the world, most of the collective is living in lies. So they're going to be against. That energy is going to be resistant to those who are not aware of what you're fighting for, what you're consciously aware of. That is not truth in their eyes, because they've been programmed, they've been conditioned with certain false information. So they look at certain things crazy. When it comes to family, friends, and peers, do not have a heartache. Do not have a heartache when you acknowledge the energy of it being resisted. Came across this video online where this girl was she was crying really, really bad, and I guess her family she was trying to give them the word, and basically it ended up in a very, 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 very bad argument. And it's just like, in the Bible, Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. We must not try to save people. We can't save people. Jesus did not intend on having followers, but he intended to have believers. So there's going to be people who you love truly, truly, but their eye isn't open. They aren't willing to receive. They hear the words and the actions of the Christ consciousness as foolishness. And those who do hear the words of Christ will perish. And it can seem like a heartbreak. It can seem very, very harsh. But at the end of the day, you have to know that energy never dies. It only transcends. So it's just not in their path at this very moment, in this very lifetime, as the same as you. You know, when you die, no one goes with you. And I don't believe we die, but what I'm saying that to show, when you have to transition, when you have to change, that is you, that is in fact changing. Not everything else around you. When you have a baby and that baby's growing, the parent doesn't grow. The family doesn't grow. That human being is growing. So we individually grow as vessels, as forms of light. And if that person light isn't turned on yet, then that person is going to be stored and is going to be played out in a specific way. And then the light shall be awakened. It should be turned on, you know? And that's just with family, friends, and peers. All my truth seekers, don't feel bad about letting people go. Don't feel bad about letting people go, because at the end of the day, you know your mission. Your mission is to master thy own self. When you practice spirituality and you are as deep as I'm deep, like when you on that high vibration, that high frequency, then you know of you. We don't just say, I am God, just to be saying, I am God. If you are saying I am God and you don't know what God is, that is in fact blasphemy. But I say I am God because I know I am you, you are me, I am everything. So I'm not separate from the ones who has fallen off of my path. They have only given me something that I needed within my mission. And if my mission is as successful as I think it is in my mind, in my heart, in my body, in my soul, then I know I'm going to continue to attract that same type of energy, because nothing's lost, it's only gained. Nothing's lost, it's only gained. And that is just with family, friends, peers, etc. That's only one thing. We have many, many other things to face as truth seekers. Because understand, we live in a world full of modified, false information. So every day is a war psychologically to do what's right, to do what serves me when it comes to certain things. Like, for example, my truth seekers, we don't want to work for money. We don't want to serve two gods. You can't serve money and God. You can't claim to be God and you're serving another God. Money is a whole God, a whole entity itself. Right? And my truth seekers don't want that. We don't want to work for a job. We don't want the businesses. We don't want to do things with banks and stuff like that. But let me tell you, understand that your mind, you are living inside of your mind. Life is literally what you make it. And you have to use this projection, you have to use this stimulation as a stepping stool to create and to build and to know who exactly you are. Never give up on yourself, because the more and more you believe in yourself, the more and more your mind will put action towards what you want. And this is why in the Bible it says that God can move mountains. We make things happen with our mind. My guru, my mentor, Eligio the Christ, has taught me that people are the best currency. And we must study cosmic currency. Cosmic currency is only the belief, the faith of the universe, of you being provided for. You don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to happen. But you know in your mind it's going to happen how it's supposed to happen. And if you can live life that fearless in this day and age, because there's so many people who are worried, who fear to sustain their own life because they depend on a systematic way of living. If I don't have housing, if I don't have clothes, if I don't have food, then I am not sustaining my life. But let me tell you, there's plenty, human beings only make up a small percentage of the species on this earth. There's plenty other species. We're the only species who live as we live. There's plenty other species who are provided for with food, shelter, and a healthy body. Because our clothes is meaningless. It's our body. It's our cell membrane we want to take care of. We want to wear our skin, our body, as if it is Gucci. My melanin. My chief teaches us in the 5 curriculum that melanin and grounding should be tied together, because the melanin is the source, but the grounding is like the fucking battery to keep it thriving. We must worry about these things, and how we worry about these things is that we know all we have to do is be in a sustainable environment. Well, we say on an everyday basis, living in cities, living in towns, living in neighborhoods. That is all orchestrated by someone else's mind. I want to be able to put my feet on the soil. I'm walking on concrete. I want to be able to walk around with my feet on the soil. I'm walking in rubber because there's glass, because there's multiple things that's man-made that I have to consider, rather than just taking my shoes off and walking outside. No. We have to know our mind is what sustains us. Our mind is what sustains us. So don't allow money to put fear in your heart. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And let me tell you, I've been going through things where I literally have to mentally ground myself, because I am having faith within the universe that I am financially stable, right? And one big key, one big gem that I got out of having faith and applying this knowledge and this mentality in my life is that it's giving me endurance. I rather feel the empowerment of me enduring, me going against what the world is trying to force me to do, rather than being stressed out worrying about the next come up. I'd rather sit and endure what the universe is putting me through, rather than think, overthinking to try to dig myself out of this hole. Why do that when the universe is already protecting me? Of course, I have to righteously use my mind. Faith is nothing without work. Of course, I have to do the work. I have to keep my thoughts clean. I can't say, oh shit, no, I ain't gotta do nothing. Something's gonna work out. I can't be obnoxious about it, but I have to apply the knowledge. I have to keep the knowledge. And keeping the knowledge is only applying information and receiving information as I'm going through this experience. So you must endure. You must endure. I must endure when it comes to that. And that's just money. Now let's talk about relationships. My truth seekers, people who are seeking truth. What do you think relationships are for? Relationships are, my chief said it right. My guru, my mentor has taught us that relationships are a way to travel. It's a relationship. You literally travel, a person being engaged with another person not only brings out another piece of a person, but it kind of attaches itself to that person, you know? And you're dealing with a lot of energy. For one, just one human being itself. One human being itself hold the energy, the amount of energy that one person holds itself is crazy. Trillion, a billion, more than a million volts of energy. We are light beings, okay? We are light beings, full of fucking energy. Full of energy. Oh, one being, right? And the one being gets together with another being, right? So now the energy exalts. Now the energy becomes more of. This person receives this person's energy, and this energy takes on this person's energy. And it becomes the energy itself, right? And when we're talking about energies, we have to understand astrology. We have to understand if a whole person have a chart with all these different placements and aspects when it comes to emotion, when it comes to the way that we think, the way that we like to get pleased. Every individual has this, full of energy. And we come together as one, and we try to make it work. For one, it will fail if you do not know yourself. It will fail if that person does not know themselves. When you are in a relationship, first key, you must know what you want in life. You must know who you are. Because if you don't, you're going to be traveling with no damn destination. You're going to be finding out who you are through this person. You guys are going to be teaching each other about you guys selves. And without the knowledge of knowing what you want and who you are, there's going to be a lot of confusion. There's going to be a lot of figuring out. There's going to be a lot of combative and resistance for things that's probably changing a person in a way, because we change a lot in relationships. And if we can't identify the change, if it's not a good change, if we start to not recognize ourselves because we don't know ourselves, then we get lost in another person. And that trickles down to multiple things, okay? So, my truth seekers, whenever you are choosing to get engaged with a relationship, of course, you must know who you are. You must know your purpose. Both of you guys must know this. Both of you guys must be aligned with your very own path. Both of you guys must be aligned with your very own path. And that is all that is to it. Because you know why? People grow and people change. And if I can find somebody who's willing to grow with me, and who's willing to change with me, and who is aligned with my exact path, then that is something I can I can mentally confirm to. I can mentally say, okay, I want, this is what I want. I know who I am. I know what I want. This person knows who they are. They know what they want. They're aligned with my very own path. And if this person is choosing to grow with me, if this person is choosing to understand me, then we can move forward and travel together, and we can travel many places and get to many destinations. We can grow and change together. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. People do it all the time. Oh, that was a snake. I gotta look that up. That was definitely a snake. Gotta look that up. And I'm talking about relationships too. That's crazy. Anyways, okay. Relationships. Yeah. And then what's another thing? What's another thing? Desires. You want to talk about desires? Because we all have them. We all want to. What I could say about desires is that we all have patterns, right? We all were conditioned a certain way, right? Like, for example, if you do something on an everyday basis, it becomes a habit. And to break a habit, you must slowly take baby steps to change that pattern. I wouldn't recommend anybody to just stop, because, I mean, you can do it, but it's a mental battle. It's a mental strain that you will put on your own self. You're more than capable, but just know the symptoms that will occur when you choose to do that. The greatest thing to do is to learn your habits and to have positive habits, positive habits. Take out all the bad habits. Look at all the bad habits, right? And then minimize them habits. How you minimize the habits is that you check, okay, your regular pattern. I do this shit every day. Okay, we gonna minimize it. Let's do it every other day, right? And then once you get the motion of that, say, okay, I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna minimize this. And then you get the point. It changes, and you change, right? And then you start implementing positive habits. How do you implement positive habits? You start doing things on an everyday basis. What you do frequently becomes your frequency. And this is how we cultivate our patterns. This is how we cultivate habits, consistency, and I'm only speaking for that for things like food, like sex, like low vibration music, low vibration conversations, low vibration shows, low vibration music. I think I just said that already. Low vibration movies. You want to start eliminating all those bad habits. Understand? Morals over desires. Master your desires. For those who can give you your desires becomes your master. Yo, but I've made it to my destination. I'll go ahead and holler back at you guys.